Hi there, in this video we will be taking a look at this crimping set from Lidl. This is actually not a model number, just its name. Maybe in here somewhere we get the model number, and my daughter trying to go by me, moving me all around. So this is a bit more info right here. Cutting, insulation stripping, crimping pliers, 60 cable lugs, 30 blade receptacles, 30 flat connectors, 20 butt connectors, weird, 10 splash-proof butt connectors, 50 assorted and splices, 15 cable ties, 100mm 15 wires, and 130, I don't know, 15 or 113, and this is confusing right at the end, but anyway, we will see them in here after I cut this open. So this is what we have inside. Let me see how this feels in the hand. First try. Okay, so seems to be heavy enough. Ooh, so this is for presumably stripping wires. Looks like it. Okay, all kinds of I don't know, better check the manual, because I don't really know how to use this thingy. Really, I don't know how to use this thingy. This is weird, quite complex, and I do have this for crimping ferrules. I have this for crimping network connections. I have this for stripping wires, cutting, but this kind of does some of them. Apart from that, impossible. Quite good, hopefully. And I already have a set of these for a while, and I was using all sorts of connectors, but I was crimping them with pliers, flat pliers, so that's not ideal at all. It was really hard to make them have a good contact and be able to use them, so I needed to buy this, which comes with a bunch of stuff. So you can see various colors and sizes of this type, of these spades, 2 colors, this which go one into the other, and here do we have only male? No, I think we have both assortments in there, I think. Anyway, there's that. This thing is, so you basically can connect 2 wires end to end. Okay, I think these ones are for this, the other part. And we also have the little ferrules, tiny ferrules. And yep, these are the wires that I was confused in there. And we also have this. But then again, we also seem to have some naked ferrules. And I use this from time to time, but I just remove the plastic from mine, which are all bunched up together in here because my daughters played with them. Why not? So yeah, looking good. Let's see how we can use this now. Forgot to show you the splash proof ones. I think they have this pink heat shrink tube on, and just as a rule, from what I read in the documentation or on the back of this, not sure, this for really thin wires, blue ones for a bit thicker wires, and yellow ones like we have in here for way thicker wires. But let me show you that. I think it was yeah, general information. So red, blue, and oh, so it doesn't say about yellow, but it does have a yellow dot in here, so it can work with red, blue, and yellow ones. And for this area right here is for cutting, so you cut wires in there. This area right here with the 3 dots is for crimping these types of connectors, or these bigger ones. And this 1, 2, 3, so this one can crimp from 0.5 to 6 millimeter wire connectors for that surface of wire, that section actually. And in here is for ferrules, up to 6 millimeter wire ferrules, starting from the small 0.5 that we have in here. And in here, as you can see, I have a bunch of them, I think in way bigger assortment, up to 10 millimeters. So in theory in here we can only crimp up to 6, up to the yellow ones. The big red ones we cannot do with this, but this will do perfectly well. And this is a better ferrule crimper, because this comes from 4 directions, and yeah, does a really good job. I will put a link to the video in the description. It's not from Lidl, but it's really cheap and really good tool. I worked a lot with it and it's working perfect. This for cutting for sure will be better than this. And this dedicated, again, quite cheap tool, but it's dedicated for stripping. No adjustment required. You just decide where you put the wire, and depending on the section, in one of these 4 holes, and it does the job for you. This, yeah, you need to adjust depending on how thick the wire is, the tension for this in here, so you do not cut it. Actually not cut it, this damage it while tightening too much. Then from here you decide how long you want the wire. So basically, if you always put it up to this, you know that you are always stripping a certain amount. Yeah, it's interesting, but I'm not sure if it will do as good of a job as this one. But hey, we'll see, we'll see. As for documentation, this is about all that we have. So feel free. This is what we adjust to avoid this on the insulation of the wire and the length from here. Anyway, feel free to pause at any time so you take a better look at this. I don't like ferrules being crimped in this way. I much prefer the ones from 4 directions, but for this I don't have a dedicated tool for crimping, so basically I'm mostly going to use this area with 3 points and maybe the part with stripping the wires, although this can do probably a better job. So basically I bought a set mostly for this. No, I'm joking. It also has a lot of these things in here. And if you don't have separate tools, then this is all in one and it will do really good, presumably, for you. And the first ever thing that I'm crimping with this is already like it shouldn't be done. I have a thin cable and I need this big connector. So normally this is too thick for a 0.75 cable, so I'm putting it like this, double. Not normal, you shouldn't be doing this, but let's see what we get. Okay, so I didn't like that at all. It wasn't tight enough on the wire, and I tried to tighten it more, it just doesn't work. So use them for the proper size of wire. This is way too big for the wire, so I ended up also soldering. So it's crimped and soldered just for good measure, and now I will create a kind of a stress relief for this wire from these 2 tubes. Okay, so at the end of the day I'm happy with the situation. Didn't work quite as I wanted to, but still worked. So yeah, use the proper size for your thickness of wire once again. Okay, about a week later I'm using it to crimp on some thicker wires, so it's in the accepted range. It's crimping, but I'm still not 100% sure, so yeah, I'm soldering the ends of these wires here, so I can be 100% sure. But yes, if you tighten strong enough on the grips when crimping, I think it's a good connection, but this is the best connection. Okay, so to end this video. I give this tool a thumbs down. I just don't feel confident in using the connections that it makes. Like this, after I take off the plastic and use pliers to tighten this in place, and then I will also solder the end where the wires stick out a little bit. This will never move from here, but with this I'm not confident I have a perfect contact. So although generally I like multi-tools, they end up using less space. I don't have a lot of space in my work area. This one just does everything but kind of badly. So yeah, sorry, but this time this is not a recommended product. Buy it just in case you don't have any other options. I think that's my take on it. Maybe if I would force myself to use it for a while, I will learn its quirks and maybe use it a bit better, but no, it just doesn't make sense in my book. So yeah. What is this thing doing here? I'm getting old. The beer should be there. Yeah. So basically these are the black ones, which are 1.5 millimeter, and this should go from red all the way up to yellow. So this kind of includes everything in between. Let's see, but I somehow doubt the result will be too great. And it's in there. Squeeze it as hard as I can, and I'm at a stop, so I think that's hitting there, so it's impossible to squeeze more than that, and I kind of have this as a result, which, as you can see, it's not coming. Camera, focus please. This is the result, and it's not coming out, so it is doing its job. It is usable, but I'm going to show you something. So let's do another one in here. Squeeze it maximum. It's good. So if you put it in something that has a screw, like I intend to do in here, this camera focus. I'm used to keeping everything lower, but in this new workspace everything will be a bit higher. So yeah, the screw will tighten it even more. But then again, I come with this thingy, and let me show you. I think I already did show you. It will crimp even on top of other crimpers. It doesn't really care. Yeah, the crimping is much more uniform and much better. But this one also works. So for ferrules, yeah, good enough. But for the other types of things like this, I don't like that much how it crimps. It requires a lot of force, and you are not 100% sure it's crimped all the way ever. This, for example, has that cricket, so only if I go to the absolute maximum you could sew it there, unlock it. And when I'm the max, I'm sure this is pushing as hard as it can to crimp, unless it will not allow me to open it. So yeah, this makes sure it's always crimped. This depends on what you are used to doing, how strong your hand is, where you are holding this, although you should be holding it as far down as possible to have maximum crimping power. And weirdly enough, the same design, you can buy it for many renowned brands. So at the end of the day, it might not be such a bad tool as I feel it to be, and many could actually use it without any problems. But for me, it's yeah, I don't know. I don't like its style, honestly. Although, as you can see, it's working nicely in here, but you need to adjust things. I'm used to my tools where I don't adjust anything. I just gone, done, solved. So yeah, that's about it for this video. For me, it's not good. It's not what I hoped for. I'm going to search for something simple to be able to crimp connectors. I have this, maybe from time to time I will use it, but I don't feel very confident when using it. But yeah, what I can say is that your mileage might vary. And as always, if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments, and see you in the next one.